Donna, very much missed by the netball community, and as you said, Southeast Blaze, where she was a real linchpin in that team, and so condolences to everybody for the loss. So we are FleetEV National League here in Ebbw Vale for the 5th game of today. 30 seconds has been blown by the umpires, and we've got Claire Williams and Joe Williams who will be running the lines for us as umpires. So quickly run through the starting sevens. For Southeast Blaze, you've got goal shooter Charlotte Lewis getting the start, Abigail Meredith at goal attack, Rebecca Baker at wing attack, Victoria Nuttall at centre, Lauren Snooks wing defence, Brooke Collett goal defence, and Katie Reese at goalkeeper. And for Powys Sparks, Jasmine Barty goal shooter, Parks goal attack, Brooks wing attack, Holmes at centre, Evans at wing defence, Davis goal defence, and Bailey at goalkeeper. And it's going to be Powys Sparks that have the first centre pass.
I think this will be a really positive and contested game. Straight away, Brooke Collett is in for that interception because she's been called for contact.
Yeah, so it's Powys Sparks in the orange and black. They go into the right of the screens. And as I said, it's going to be, we hope, a well-contested game. And it's Blaze with an intercept. Oh, not the tip, sorry. With Katie Reese, who was on fire in the first game where they got the draw against City Flames, but it's Powys Sparks that get the first on the board. And whilst Southeast Blaze get a nice quick pass into Lewis, a goal shooter, she gets the start, she goes high, and she nets. Let me introduce you to Hayley Lewis-Howell and Emma Roberts from West Wales Phoenix Ladies. So great to have you joining us. You've been watching, but you've also been playing. You played in that last game. What is it like for you being back on the court and here in Ebbw Vale? Just going to turn the mics off.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so after Bangor, I think it was really difficult for us. We had 2 losses up there. But to get back on the court today, you know, and put in everything that we've worked on in training was really nice. And I think we did have some good passages of play in the last game there. And I think what we've worked on in training has really come to light in that game. So we are really proud of ourselves, really.
Yeah, you're pushing through, aren't you? Pushing on, trying to improve every game. As we're seeing from these 2 teams on the court, Coastal Heat's one of the newbies into this league in 2024. And Southeast Blaze, after finishing 7th last year, looking to climb up that ladder. So 3 goals to Southeast Blaze, 1 to Powys Sparks. And Nick, what are you looking for? Because you're a player coach, and I still don't know how you still do it, and you're still doing the amazing stuff you do on court, but also able to talk to your team to be able to implement your game plan.
Yeah, it's really difficult, but I do think that when you're on the court, you understand the players better, and actually the play, you feel like you know what's going on, and it's much easier to give feedback. You're more involved in those combinations and our situations, and it's easier for the players to come up to you. They're very open and honest, and especially playing with each other week in, week out, and in training sessions. I think it makes them feel more comfortable.
Indeed. And so our coaches for this game, for Southeast Blade, Rebecca Baker, she's player coach, Brooke Collett, working alongside her. And for Powys Sparks, we've got Trish Sterling and David Lindley, all trying to impart their wisdoms into the players 7 on court when they get those opportunities. Because once you're on the court, you can't be looking to your coaches, can you, girls?
No, no. You can hear some of them maybe on the sideline. You can definitely,
hear your coach.
Helen, yeah, you can hear her. But yeah, once you're on that, it is down to you and the 7 that are on. Yeah.
So Lewis, she takes the shot at goal shooter, goes up and goes in.
I love her technique. It's such a high shot. She's so accurate with it.
And it being so high, that makes it really difficult for the defenders to mark it, right? Oh, what a take there from goal defence, Brooke Collett.
They've had 2 really clean turnovers, one after another. I think Blaze are going to try and make a point in this game from drawing in the last game when they actually took the lead against City Flames. So I think they're going out for the win.
Well, they've changed up their starting 7 to what did start that game against City Flames, and it was their 3rd quarter, wasn't it, in the game that they really pushed forward. And this I believe was that starting 7.
Yeah, they're really quick, and their feeds are really accurate as well. So they hit the circle edge. Not many feeds are going up to the transverse line, which is really positive. And they haven't got a lot of height in there, so that's the way that they can play it. But a lot of them, they are quick on their feet and they come out of nowhere.
Well, they've extended that lead to 4 goals now, and everybody's on defence. Even Rebecca Baker at wing attack. As I said, a player coach getting in on the action, but a little bit too much on that feed into Meredith on the baseline. And it gives Powys Sparks the opportunity to attack, but over a third. Bit of lack of control there.
Yeah, I think they're putting on so much pressure onto the ball. There's lots of turnovers, and they just need to keep driving onto that ball.
The drive was on there for Blaze. Get the turnover, get the goal, and now it's their centre pass. But a contact goal shooter. You say shooters don't contact?
Sometimes.
We don't, we really don't, no.
That was a nice feed in. If you notice the Blaze defence, they're pushing everyone wide. They're trying to force that feed in from Powys Sparks. So the goal attack is looking to look long. And again, it's straight off the back line.
Well, Powys Sparks, they had a little bit of a heavy game in their first one this morning, 15-59 against Northeast Infernos. They really struggled to get that ball into their shooting circle to be able to put those shots up. But looking for a better performance today, but it's this afternoon, sorry, but Blaze seem to be just keeping on, ticking off that scoreboard as we see a change about to happen for Powys Sparks. And it's Leah Jackson coming on at centre to replace Holmes. And Nick, why do you think that was happening? Is it this scoreline? The change that Powys Sparks have just made in the centre position, scoreline based or just trying something different?
I just think the change in the centre, potentially, there was a bit of a gap in the middle, so the ball coming from the back line down. It was a bit of a hole, so Blaze were pushing back, creating that space in the middle, but you need someone who's punched in the middle to bring the ball down and be that dominant player. So hopefully the new centre can come on and fill it a little bit.
Leah Jackson recycles netball club. She's a sports therapist and also a twin. We've got a couple of twins in this league. Well, one other. In Northeast Inferno and the Hughes sisters. Well, Victoria Nuttall, centre, takes the centre pass for Blaze. They're on 10 with 3 minutes left to go in this first quarter. The shot of Lewis goes high, but it bounces off the back of the ring. Powys Sparks have an opportunity now to really capitalise on that turnover. It's a little bit static as they come through the middle, ladies. Can you see having to go back?
I think they're all pushing out to the outside channel, so somebody needs to cut through the middle channel and just not force that ball, work it in, play short and sharp balls as opposed to forcing that ball into the circle.
Some key words there from Hayley Lewis. Howell, thank you very much.
They've got a really interesting defensive strategy on centre pass. So if you watch, the wing defence and the goal defence drop the circle edge, and they just leave the centre on the transverse line, which I've never tried before. Might give it a go. But what they're trying to do is push the wing attack and the goal attack high and get them to bring it to circle edge so the defence can come forward on it.
So another change there for Powys Sparks, which I know is Mika Jackson. She's come on at wing attack. A Diesel Netball Club player and a PE teacher. So changes happening in the attacking end as Powys Sparks are about to try and penetrate into that circle.
They need to try and force that front feed rather than pushing it over the top all the time, because the two defenders are just jumping up with them and forcing the pressure.
Oh, great leap there from Brooke Collett. Really put off Jasmine Katie Parks at goal attack and got the rebound. Some hops on her. She got some airtime. Quick transition through the court for Blaze. They draw the contact, which Meredith takes from distance, just overcooks it, hits the furthest part of the ring. But a tip off Powys Sparks means they've got the back line. They've got 45 seconds left on the clock. Wanting to score this one always. Lewis goes round the front. Again, just unable to sink that one through. Baker tried to get an intercept, still in the hands of Powys Sparks. Butte Energy, Powys Sparks. 24 seconds. Want to get this ball down the court, but they're taking their time and passing to a phantom player off the back line. 10 seconds left on the clock. They have an opportunity. There's always time. 10 seconds, you can easily get this ball into the circle. 5. Meredith comes out. She goes for the long ball into Lewis. And that is the buzzer for the first quarter.
Every mid-court's going to throw that ball in. You see the 10 seconds on the score button, it's going straight in.
They see it.
Give it a go.
And you give it a go. You just never know. You might get a contact call and you got a penalty pass or shot. But after that third quarter, it's Southeast Blaze, MechTech Company and the Print Company, Southeast Blaze and Powys Sparks. It's 11 to Blaze, 3 to Powys Sparks. Nick, just kind of give a brief overview for me of that first quarter.
I think Blaze are putting a lot of defensive pressure on. Like I said, they're trying to push them off the circle edge. They're making Powys Sparks freed from out wide, and again, the defensive turnover. Blaze is attacking end. They rotate in the circle really well, particularly the goal shooter. She's coming in and she's working her way around the defence. And then on the Powys Sparks side, I think we just need to hit be more dominant on the centre pass, bring it to circle edge, and use the triangles and the rotation. Everyone knows I love a triangle, but at the moment they're just forcing it in. I think that's where the errors are coming. So if they can go out now, a bit more structure in the play, some give and goes through the court, I think they could have a significant improvement.
Indeed. Emma from West Wales Phoenix, what have you thought in terms of what Southeast Blaze have done and the confidence that they're showing on court?
I think their defence is really, really strong all through the court. You know, everybody's working as a team to shut that ball down from Powys Sparks. You know, their shooter as well is holding really well. I know how difficult it is to get around a really good holding shooter. So she's done really well as well to hold her space and, you know, dominate the space and show where she wants that ball, you know. So I think they're just working really well as a team, and they're shutting that ball down from Powys Sparks.
Indeed, indeed, yeah. What good things are Powys Sparks doing that they can build on?
I think they can, you know, they are bringing the ball down well. They're hitting a spot, a gap really in the mid-court. So I think if they just drive forward, or, you know, you can get, I know for myself, I can get stuck when I play wing attack in the middle, and if nobody passes me the ball, I just stay there instead of moving away and letting someone come forward. So I think that's what they are, bringing the ball down well, but I think that's what they could improve on then as well, yeah.
Indeed. Well, they made changes in that quarter in terms of this changing the centre and the wing attack. For you, Emma, Hayley. Getting confused now, long day. Hayley, was that a good change? What difference did it have?
I think it did make a little bit of a difference. Some of the balls just need to be worked closer to circle edge, though, to feed that ball in a little bit better.
Yeah, cool. Well, the teams are ready, about to go back on court for the second quarter of this FleetEV National League. Game 5 of today. Quick reminder, our umpires are Claire Williams and Joe Williams, the two Williams, taken to the court. Claire is at the top of your screen and Joe is at the bottom. And it's Blaze that had the first centre pass. Coming down to the right of your screen, Lewis started this game nicely. A few missed shots towards the end of the last quarter. Can she get her rhythm back? Overcooked that, but whoa, strength there coming in for the rebound.
Yeah, she's got such a high shot, but she's always in for those rebounds, and I really like the confidence. If she is not happy where she wants to set that shot, she puts it in and out straight away and gets back into a position where she's comfortable. I think that's really positive. It's a great attribute to have as a shooter.
So we do see some changes coming into this second quarter for South East Blaze. We've got Beth Hale coming in at wing defence, and for Powys Sparks we've got Kat Carmody coming in at goalkeeper and Mary Bailey coming in at goal attack. So changes for Sparks at goalkeeper and at both ends after they made those changes in the centre court in that first quarter. So mixing up the side, Nick.
Yeah, they're looking to feed the holding shooter, but I think unless that that feed is perfect, it's not going in because there's so much defensive pressure. But again, you need to hit that circle edge to get that feed away.
Well, one of the changes, there was only 2 changes from the Bangor squad for South East Blaze, and Bethan Hill was one of them, and Emily Burnside was the other. She's yet to come on to this court. Meredith, she takes the shot from the goal attack position. She knows that's one more on the board, 14 for South East Blaze. To the Butte Energy, Powys Sparks, just the 4 so far. Baker, she finds Meredith on the baseline. Couldn't net that one though, and quick on the rebound was newcomer Kat Carmody.
I think, as Hayley said earlier on, the Powys Sparks are bringing it down to the transverse line, but I think it's just breaking down just in the attacking third. It's just around that circle edge, even if they reset and go again, just to give themselves a bit more width. So Blaze have got at least 2 options for every single pass, and it looks more fluent. That was a lovely take.
Great take there from Lewis. Like we were saying, we got commentating on her shot and saying how lovely that high shot is in terms of being able to get over the defenders. But if you don't get it perfectly swished through, it bounces way off when it hits the ring. Yeah,
it's difficult to get that rebound, isn't it, for a high shot? But she manages to do it. So
she does.
Keep doing it.
Exactly. Oh, nice work to find Jasmine Barty under the post, and she nets. Good communication there with her teammate Leah Jackson at centre.
That was a much better passage of play in the attack.
Hayley, were you pleased with that passage of play, considering what you were saying at quarter?
Yeah, I think they worked that much better to circle edge, and the pass was right into the shooter. Shot the goal, successful, so hopefully we'll see more passage of play like that.
Indeed, and what we see down the other end is Meredith just keeping that scoreboard ticking over. After that draw they had this morning against City Flames in our first game of the day, which was so exciting to watch.
Yeah, we arrived half-time, and we were on the edge of our seats. I kept saying, come on, we need to go and get ready, and the girls weren't budging. They had us on the edge of the seat. It was a good game, but I do think both teams were actually disappointed because either of them could have taken the win.
Yes, indeed.
There's lots of positives to take from both sides, but I think they're both going to try and get the wins on their second game today.
Oh, Brooke Collett. We saw this in the game earlier. She just coming out with balls at crucial times. But it did seem like South East Blaze were the more happy for that draw, because coming from behind, whereas City Flames a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, and I think they didn't look comfortable at times, whereas I felt like Blaze, they went from strength to strength. But like I said, like prime example, Brooke Collett, she's fit, she's fast, she's strong. She manages to get around players. She takes those flies and manages to stabilise herself as well and bring the ball down the court effectively.
Well, she's played county from under 14s right through to adults. She's played in Bucks and Welsh unis. She's really loving her netball. And the opportunity to play in this league as the other defender in that area. Wing defence, Bethan Hale, who's just come on in this quarter, gets a 2-handed intercept. And so Powys Sparks, a few contact calls, just need to watch themselves now. but the pressure they put on, the turnover comes, and it goes into hands of Catherine Carmody.
That was much nicer coming down. They didn't force it. I think earlier on they were trying to throw more diagonal passes from different channels, but straight and square was a much better option.
This defensive work rate. Oh, Reese tried to help out the teammates, but bashed it off the back line. Powys Sparks with the back line. It plays 7. Southeast Blaze have started to get a little bit more of a gap. So Rebecca Baker, a wing attack, ball in hand. We had the pleasure of her company earlier in the comms box, giving some insight. Player coach yourself like you, Nick.
I need to retire from both.
No, never. Well, as we come into that 3-minute mark, Emma, for you, this quarter.
I think this quarter has been much better by Powys Sparks. You know, they're getting that ball into the shooting circle. They're working harder to get the ball to circle edge, and then it's an easier pass in then, a more accurate pass then. I think it's been really good. You know, it's a big positive, and they just need to build on that now. Yeah, I think they've done really well. Yeah.
Well, indeed, they scored 3 in that first quarter. Doing my maths, 4 in this second quarter so far, and we've still got.
GCSE. We figured that out last time, didn't we?
I know, and I'm still struggling with my 1, 2, 3s.
I think it's been a really positive change for the shooter that came on. I just think it's added that extra height in the circle, and they've got that holding post.
Oh, well seen. Good, was it?
Yeah, I like that. That was lovely. Yeah.
Why was it lovely, Emma?
She just had complete control of the ball, and then, you know, she did a big stretch, she kept that ball in, she had the balance, and then obviously took it to goal as well. Lovely, yeah.
Nice work. We're pleased from what you're doing out there. Abigail Meredith.
Southeast Blaze are playing some lovely netball. The ball coming down the court is so fluent. There's always options. I know I said there was 2 options before, but they're actually really, really looking strong. And an amazing shot by Abby Meredith.
Yeah. Well, considering they came 6th in 2023
exactly.
last year, making a big impact in terms of getting themselves up the ladder.
They're going to shout to Brooke for that one. Some eyes right on it.
So Sparks on the attack. Going back 1-2 between goalkeepers. Carmody. And their goal defence, Beth Davis. Beth Davis again, trying to find her attackers, doing some work in defence and bringing that ball through the court. Goes up, oh, what a jump from Reese. Like her standing elevation, standing to elevation, sorry, is phenomenal.
Yeah, neither defenders are particularly tall in that circle compared to the shooters. They're doing really, really well.
Oh. Yeah, we spotted that all the way over here. You've got to be on the court to catch the ball, not come out from off court on. But Crodder helping out on attack.
Great patience in there.
Oh, and that's the timing, isn't it?
And that triangle. Yes, what a lovely passage of play.
The triangle that
I'm going to change teams now.
And that is the buzzer for the end of quarter 2, which takes us into half-time. Southeast Blaze, the Mech Tech Professionals and the print company Southeast Blaze, 22 to Butte Energy Powys Sparks 7. So it was another 11 on the board for Southeast Blaze. Powys Sparks, they were able to get more in that second quarter, put a few more on the board. We were talking about it throughout the quarter and what had changed. Give us a little bit more in terms of from Powys Sparks' point of view. Hayley, you've been tapped on this. You've been
Yeah, I've
put
been
up.
prompted for this one. I think Powys Sparks have been consistent. They scored 3 in the first, 4 in the second. What they did a little bit better there was working together as a team, playing the shorter balls, using the width of the court. It's just getting that last pass into the circle. Like Nick said, the defence are quite tall. Shooters are taller, sorry, but the defence are dominating in that circle, so it's just about either holding or coming around and getting in front of the defence.
Hayley, remind us again, what position do you play?
A bit of a mixture at the moment, really, but centre court or goal tag.
Nice.
So I know when you're in that shooting circle, you've got to be in front of that goal defence goalkeeper to get that front ball.
Indeed, indeed you do. And for you, Emma, South East Blaze seem to be flying in this game, but is there certain things that they can do a little bit better?
I think they are just working well as a team, you know. I think sometimes looking after the ball, sometimes you can get a little bit ahead of yourself and get carried away, and then you just throw some balls like we saw. I think there was a ball to the shooting circle that was a bit too high, a bit off. So I think just looking after the ball, taking your time and not, you know, running away with it and thinking we're ahead, and then taking your foot off the gas, essentially, But I think they're doing really well. They're working well as a team.
Nice, indeed. Nick, if I come to you as a coach with your coach's hat on, what would you be saying to Powys Sparks? We know Trish Sterling and David Lindley are in there at the moment, and we can see them just kind of letting their players have their talk first before they come in. What would you be doing?
In this scenario, I'd look at just setting them goals. So obviously they had 4 goals in the last quarter. Just trying to build on that, because like we've talked about the circle edge feeds, again, they're not hitting the circle edge, and I think that's where it's breaking down. So looking at bringing that ball nice and steady through the court, nice and relaxed, and then obviously the using the 1-2s, the give and goes. Let's use it around the circle edge. And focusing on how we build in the score rather than just going out to try and beat them. But I think realistically in the score that it is right now, we need to make our own goals. So I would look at saying to them, let's try and get 7 on the board. That is our challenge, and limit them to, they had 11 for the last 2, so they were quite consistent, limit them to around 8. And then reassess from there. But I do think it's key in that attack and end. They need to reset and go again and just try and hit that circle edge with that holding shooter. She made such an impact when she came on, but I think the feed's got to be perfect.
Indeed. Oh, well, we're in competition day 2 here in Ebbw Vale. We started competition day 1 in May at Bangor University. As I say, day 2 we're in Ebbw Vale. Competition day 3 will be next month, the 20th of July, in the House of Sport in Cardiff. And on the Sunday, the 21st of July, we will have a finals day. So that is where the 2024 FleetEV champion, Wales National League champion, will be crowned. Nick, 2023, you were the champions. What got you? Oh, got a whoop whoop from our Phoenix girls. How was that for you, winning the inaugural season?
Yeah, do you know what? Obviously, first year of the competition, we faced I always get confused between the Northwest and the Northeast, the black team. Is it Northwest?
Infernos.
Infernos, yeah. We faced those up in Bangor, and we actually lost the first game to those. And we literally came away from that game and thought, right, we need to start again, brand new team. We put a lot of things in place in training, came back, and we ended up obviously winning in the end, playing them in the final. Managed to, I think, in the end, win by 10. But we were probably a little bit complacent going in. We were unaware of the teams. We didn't know who was playing. Whereas this year, I think we've lost a few players from last season, and we've had a bit of a restructure. And it's actually been really difficult because we've got a lot of players to choose from who are all really talented. But the main issue for us is actually working out in what combinations are the best. So we need to try and get that right by the next time we play in Cardiff, and hopefully try and keep the trophy, as we say, be crowned champions again. But we know that it's going to be really, really difficult for us. We've got a few hard games coming up, and we've got one this afternoon.
Indeed, finding is there's no easy game, is there, ladies? No easy game as we start off this third quarter, the second half of game 5. South East Blaze, MECTEC Professionals and the Print Company, and Powys Sparks Butte Energy. And it's Blaze that get the first one on the board, and we've got a few changes from South East Blaze. We see Steph Savigar come on at goal shooter, Emily Burnside at wing attack, Charlotte Scarborough in at centre, and Nia Fishlock comes in at goal defence. So a few changes there, and just one change from Powys Sparks. Chaya Holmes comes in at wing attack. So nice hands there. Bethan Hale at wing defence, getting the turnover. Brooke Collett, goal defence on the transverse line. Meredith, who has been on song at goal attack, being that playmaker. Will be interesting now to see what she does in this new shooting combination with Savigar onto the court.
That was an unlucky shot, but I just like the way they play in that attack and they are not afraid to reset it and go again. Get into that position they want to be in. It's actually really frustrating as a defence to play against people like that. Whereas, unfortunately for Powys Park, there's only one option to the ball, so the defenders know exactly where it's going to go. Regardless if they're putting a zone up or man-to-man, it's quite an easy turnover for them. And I think that as a coaching staff, they need to look at just two options to the ball and turn in post every time, because when our angles are not right, the defence are reading it.
And since the break, Southeast Blaze have got 2 on the board. 24 plays 7, and it's their centre pass. Savigar, big step in, hits the front of the ring, but she gets the rebound. This time, second time it goes through the net.
Yeah, I think it'd be really positive if Powys can try and hit 6 goals in this quarter. It's something to build on for the last.
Well, yeah, they were on 3 in that quarter 1, 4 in quarter 2. Yet to come on the board in this quarter 3, and just going over, and Fishlock at goalkeeper is up strong. Gets the tip off the rebound, and Blaze quickly transition into attack.
Yeah, the centre wing defence, they drop off their player and they mark circle edge. Which is quite good, because obviously you're limiting the vision, but the centre wing attack have got free range to hit the circle edge then, so there's no arms in front of them. So as coaching as well, I'd probably be saying man-to-man. It's a lovely turnover by Brooke Collett once again. We can get our tally chart out, do we?
We do, but she's thrown 2 off the back line though, so I think this is
Take 2 off it.
Take 2 off that, but she's been phenomenal on defence. Just needs to rein in some of those passes. You can see her, when she does, it releases from her hand, she gets annoyed with herself.
We need to have a leaderboard of how many turnovers there are.
Yeah.
The goal defence from Inferno's last time, I think she had 20
yes.
turnovers in a row.
Indeed, she was phenomenal.
Yeah, she was very, very good.
Caitlin Jones from Infernos. But Butte Energy, Powys Sparks have a turnover off the back line.
We just need that drive in the middle to come through.
Well, we've got more sponsors in 2024 than we did in 2023. Maybe 2025, we'll get the stats going as well. Every year improving. As Sparks have the opportunity now to get their first goal of this third quarter on the board. Mary Bailey didn't fancy it from distance, but Jasmine Barty a little bit closer. And they did it. Oh, I was going to say, off the Blazers centre pass. Luckily, still have it in hand.
The
nice
centre has got such a wide span. I'm trying to think.
Who are you looking for?
The southeast centre.
Charlotte Scarborough.
Charlotte, she's got such a wide span when she puts her arms out. She's really difficult to play against.
Well, we had her and Rebecca Baker earlier in the comms with us, and Rebecca was saying exactly that. It's so deceptive, Charlotte's wingspan, and how much space she can cover in athleticism.
Yeah, it's not ideal to play against on a centre pass. I keep saying to my players, go wide. I can't see.
Very fit girl, and there she is at centre, hitting the top of the circle, Scarborough. Meredith from distance, just goes off that back line. Coming up to the 4.5 minutes left of this third quarter. Powys Sparks, 8. Southeast Blaze, 26.
Yeah, they're playing a very tight man-to-man game. not one player is catching the ball without a South East Blaze defender on you or flying across you.
Well, Hayley, we've got some new teams in this league this year. So obviously, Powys Sparks and Coastal Heat. You guys are seasoned veterans now, I can say, coming back for your second year. Do you think what was it like playing in that first year?
For myself, I thought it was really good. You know, I obviously played club netball, but that's the highest that I've played. So to come together to play with different clubs, making up one good team, you know, it gives you that chance to play with different players. You know, and at a higher level, obviously league is a really good experience. But when you come up against top players, ex-international players like Nick, you know, it's a really good opportunity. Last year, obviously, Coastal Heat weren't here. Some of them joined Phoenix. That was a good combination. But it's nice to see the league growing, and hopefully we'll maybe have a few more teams in the future.
Indeed, growing it bit by bit. No, it's great. As you say, the best players from all those different clubs coming together to make them even stronger, eh? Yeah. Great for the participation level in Wales and growing the level of the sport. You never know, you might see some of them cross over into the performance.
Well, we lost Macy Lane last year because she went into the under-23s. So I was happy, but not in other ways.
Along with Natalie Ayanhulo for West Wales Fury.
Exactly.
For Fury, sorry, North East Fury.
No, it's really positive. It's such a great competition. We've had a lot of positive feedback from our girls. It's just, like Hayley said, it's just something else. Obviously, you like playing club, but it's lovely to step up another level and having the players from different club teams coming together. And it's also something to look forward to and build up throughout the year. So when leagues finish, it's like the extra competition. And it's actually really competitive, isn't it?
Very competitive. I know you said it's gutting for you to lose Macy, but you know, from that experience from National League last year, it may have got her to where she is now.
Yeah, I heard she had a really good coach, but
well,
I don't know.
Maybe. I just think
all of the above.
I just think having this on TV as well, with it being live streamed, you know, for women and girls sport, it's amazing because we don't tend to get it on TV. So, you know, there's lots of women and girls playing netball in Wales, so it's great that they get the recognition for it.
Yeah, well, but that's how it developed in England. We started with Super Cup, remember, just every weekend over a couple of weeks, and then it progressed into Super League. So you've got to start somewhere, and this is a nice way to give opportunities to players to play in.
There's another one for Brooke Collette to add to the tally.
Oh.
Yeah, we missed that one.
Well, we've got 1.5 minutes left of this third quarter. South East Blaze have managed to hit the 30 mark with Powys Sparks on 8. Still working hard, though, to get this ball into their goal circle. And Mary Bailey took a shot off one foot, but the obstruction call was called on Brooke Collett. She takes the time, she steps. Oh, that ball just looked flat all the way through, coming out of her hands.
I think, unfortunately for Powys, they haven't managed to hit my target that I set in this quarter. However, they've managed to limit South East Blaze. I think they hit, was it 12 in the first two? Or 11? So they're not quite there yet. So that's a positive that they can definitely take from this.
Indeed. And netball is all about attack and defence.
Pamela, I was going to ask you a question as well. Being such the great player that you were, you said about the shooter having quite a flat shot there. What coaching points would you give any shooters listening in at the moment?
Oh, you put me on the spot now.
Sorry.
No, not at all. But exactly that. I think it's setting the feet, so it was flat. So she didn't follow through on her shot. So you've got to get your power from your legs. Your hands should do exactly the same thing every time. But she kind of pushed it towards the post, whereas you want to let it come out nice and smoothly. Do a flick your wrist so it backspins, and then it can pop into the ring, hopefully.
Like a McDonald's M. That's what we always taught.
Indeed. Or upside down umbrella.
Upside down, yeah.
Upside down J or umbrella, whichever one, as the buzzer goes for the end of that third quarter. Oh, Mech Tech Professionals and the print company South East Blaze 30 and Butte Energy, Powys Sparks 8. So Powys Sparks only able to put 1 on the board in that quarter, but they did reduce South East Blaze to 8 that quarter. So, Nick, give us some insight.
Like I said, you know, with Southeast Blaze, their attacking was still really, really strong, but Powys managed to limit them to 8, which is a massive positive for them. I think they just went a little bit harder man-to-man, but I think in this last one now, they need to go out for goal difference. Southeast Blaze won't be happy with just sticking to 8. They're going to go back out for that at 11. I thought the feed-in was a little bit better from Powys Sparks. They actually worked with the shooter a little bit more. They played it around a little bit more, even though they only managed to have the 1 goal. The play looked a bit better. So we'll see in the last quarter, but I think if they can push for maybe 4 in the last, and obviously the Blaze will at least up to 11 again.
Indeed. Well, we kept saying the tally queen, Brooke Keller, coming out with quite a few intercepts. Emma, for you, in terms of what Powys Sparks can do in attack, because it seems to get a little bit clogged and not quite able to find their teammates.
Yeah, I think, like I've said before, it's those short, sharp drives. I think they're really important. That's what, when they are doing that, that's when they're getting that ball to circle edge. They're getting that ball into the circle and they're getting the goals. But I do think that, you know, they really need to work hard at that, you know, because
Southeast Blaze.
Southeast Blaze, sorry, I'm getting confused. Southeast Blaze, his defence is really, really strong, and they're communicating a lot. You can hear them, you know, from the sideline here. They're all talking to each other, and they've got a really good setup there, and everyone's working together. So I think, yeah, just those sharp drives to the circle edge, like Nick has said, and then that's where they get that success into the circle.
Indeed, yeah. And for Blaze, Nick, you're saying they're going to want to see that scoreboard and that difference in score get even higher. What are the key things for them?
I think what they're doing really, really well defensively is they are pushing Spark to the side. They're creating a hole in the middle, and that's where you're seeing the likes of Brooke coming through and taking the tips. And I think attack-wise, just keep on. The first 2 quarters, they were so sharp throughout the middle. It was that in and out, the top of the circle, straight in, the rotation in the circle, and I think that's where the goals were coming quick, but I think they slowed down a little bit in that one. So I think if they can try and come out of this with 42, they will be pretty happy. If they manage to rotate their squad, I can see a few new players coming on. So I think it's really positive for them as well to come away with that.
Yeah, as the players say, Scott, your eagle eyes are correct, because we've got some changes on both teams. So Southeast Blaze, Powys Sparks, we've got Mary Bailey going to goalkeeper, Kat Carmody at wing defence, Chloe Evans at centre, Mika Jackson wing attack, Emily Brooks at goal attack, and Katie Parks at goal shooter. Savignon is still a goal shooter, and that ball goes off the back line for Powys Sparks to be able to take the back line and start their attack. 3 seconds, ball held. That defensive work rate from Southeast Blaze, piling on the pressure.
I do think it's one that we mentioned earlier on, but it's the feet positioning. Obviously, you know yourself, Pam, if you don't turn your feet towards the post, the defence are only going to read in one direction. And I think as Sparks, we're not turning fully to look towards the post. We're not looking down court. So it just makes that defensive job so much easier.
Definitely. Always, when you're coaching, you say you turn fully, don't you? Because you give yourself the options.
If you look, most of them are turning towards the sidelines.
Yeah.
And that's something you could just easily change. Yeah. You know, one word, it is changed.
You can even just see it there as Leah Jackson at centre took that ball.
It's just limiting the movement and the sight as well from the actual players, limiting themselves. I constantly shout to my players, turn volley! Sorry.
And sorry, it's Chloe Evans that is on at centre now. And we've got the Southeast Blaze changes. So goal attack, Rebecca Baker on at goal attack. Brooke Collett has moved to wing defence, Nia Fishlock at goal defence, and Katie Reese is back on at goalkeeper.
That was a lovely shot.
Lovely shot, as you say. Blaze on the mark. First goal for them of this quarter. Baker at goal attack, plays wing attack and goal attack. Just unable to keep that one on the court. Bit of confusion there as they were taking that penalty pass. Evans tries to find a shooter. Still get the back line, Powys Sparks. So big defence now.
I think they're quite hesitant to give that first time ball. that's credit to the defensive pressure they're putting on. But I think if that first time ball is given, it just makes it a little bit easier for the attack. But I can see why they want to hold on to it. They want to make sure it's getting there, and there's so many tips and arms everywhere. I was unlucky, that defensive turnover.
So backline, Powys Sparks, 31 plays 10. Long ball in, oh, nice take from Katie Parks, at goal shooter. She's come on, back on again for this last quarter. Did start the game at goal attack. The West Midlands Regional 2 player and a PE and maths teacher. We've got so many different professions on court.
It's like a jobs fair. You just come here, pick up a lawyer, estate agent, math teacher. My team's full of police officers.
Or real women doing real stuff. I love it. And doing the business on the netball court too.
Yeah. I still got a speed in finding the day though. They couldn't back me up.
Could they not help you?
No, they couldn't help me.
Probably best.
I know.
Deep ball in. Parks is able to keep it in. Goes back to the line. Mika Jackson on a wing attack. Swings it to the top of the circle.
That feed is so much easier when you hit that circle edge. You just don't have those arms in front of you, and you can see that it's going straight in. How many of Powys Sparks scored in this one? Is it 3 or 4?
So they were on 8 coming into this quarter, yeah, so 3.
Which is much, it's much more
Glad
positive
you
than the
guys are
last
on for
few.
the maths.
Well done, girls. Thanks.
You tell who went to school.
Bit of friendly teammate banter going on here.
I think Sparks would just been a bit more patient with the ball as well. Their placement of the ball, their timing has improved, so it's clear to see they're getting that ball into the circle a little bit easier now.
Oh, great hustle.
With the pop.
Yeah, waiting for the pop, but it was Chloe Evans who kept on it to try and keep that in. But just when they have the opportunities, Emma, they're just not
so
cherishing them.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's just looking after the ball, isn't it? Not throwing those long balls and putting maybe another player in an awkward position, to try and keep it in. It's keeping that ball safe. And I think what Powys need to do as well is, like Nick said, they need to turn their body, but they also, through court, need to give that first-time ball. They need to have confidence in their players, and maybe draw that contact from the other team as well, So, but yeah.
I do think they'll be really happy in this quarter because they have limited plays.
Yeah.
To 3? Is that right?
3, yeah.
Okay,
3.
yeah.
Which, if on the average of most quarters, they hit an 11. So the defensive pressure is much better.
Yes, that's positive there.
And we've just got 4 minutes left of this final quarter of the FleetEV National League 2024. It is a participation competition. And Baker, a goal attack.
It was a lovely in and out swoosh shot.
Getting that nice front hold. She was telling us earlier that she prefers to run around the edge at the top of the circle because it creates a little bit more options than that baseline drive. And she's doing it here, being that playmaker.
You're giving all her secrets away now. Lucky we played them already.
Nice shot. She gave that away freely, so I'm just passing on what she said. Maybe I did coax her into saying it though. Oh, just Safiga off on that one. Just didn't take her time. You talk about what shooters can do to set those shots and be more accurate on it, just to set your shot, get yourself comfortable. Nice there from Reese. I've really enjoyed watching her play at goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Really on everything, isn't she?
She's really athletic. And like I said before, she's not particularly tall. You wouldn't look at it and think, but her jump is insane. But that movement in the circle in Sparks is so much more positive. It's confusing the defence a lot more.
Oh, nice take and pass there. Oh, Evans at centre, Chloe Evans. She just put it in the best possible place for a goal shooter, Katie Parks.
I think they've reached my target, or nearly.
They've scored 7 in this one, so they've scored nearly as many goals in the last quarter as their first 3. So they've really picked up the game in this last quarter.
They must have been listening to the commentary, and the words of wisdom have come through.
They've had lots of changes to the squad. But now it does seem the 7 have gelled nicely, finding their way.
It's much more positive. It's coming through the middle of the court rather than being pushed wide.
And they're
Lovely
finding
take,
Parks
yeah.
in a goal shooter. And she's scoring for them. 8 now.
This is their best quarter by far.
Yeah, and you're right.
Yeah, they're not far from half score now. If they have a couple of turnovers, we've got a minute and a half left, so a couple of turnovers and they could possibly get half score, yeah?
Indeed, that's 1 point for scoring more than 50% of the winning team's final score. So Powys Sparks all to play for. But Baker's wanting to say, nah, we want to push on. We don't want to give any points away.
I think Blaze would wanted to have finished stronger than this quarter, but I think it's really positive getting the whole squad on. It keeps everyone's motivation high and that competitive element alive.
Indeed, it has that. As you say, every single one of the 12 that have travelled here today from Southeast Blaze have got onto the court. And with just 40 seconds left on the clock, they're still pushing away, trying to keep that scoreboard ticking over, not give Powys Sparks a chance to get that 1 point. Sparks, you see, where has that been all game? These quick passes, the confidence in each other.
Ball confidence that the player at the end of the ball is going to get there. Like you said, where's that been? We'd love to see a bit more of that. But I do think Powys Sparks have really come out of this last quarter really confident, really strong. And like Hayley said, they've scored nearly, is it more? 8 goals. I'm looking for the mathematician here. I need a help and support here with the maths. No, but they've done really well.
Oh, they have. Well, 16. That is double, as Hayley was saying, than they did in the first 3 quarters. Well, the same as what they did in the first 3 quarters combined. But it is Southeast Blaze that come away with the win at 38 to Powys Sparks 16. Nick, final words for us on, how good were Blaze and what can Powys Sparks do to continue doing what they did in that last quarter?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Blaze this season. Their attack is really, really strong. They have a lot of structure there. The defensive unit, it's actually quite off-putting. We played them in a friendly last week and it was a really good challenge for us. And from Sparks, I think from where they started to where they finished, it was a massive improvement. They were hitting circle edge, giving the first time ball, and they were bringing it down from the defence end. So it was really positive for both teams.
Oh, what a good game there. Well, I've had Emma and Hayley. Well, we've had Emma and Hayley on the mic. Thank you very much, ladies. You've got another game coming up. Who you will be playing? Northwest
Fury, yes. We're looking forward. I think, it will be a really difficult game. We've seen them play. We watched them this morning, and they're a really strong team. But we are looking forward now to get back on court and put, all the positives we took from the Valleys Volcanoes game and, to the next game. So we are looking forward.
And for you, Hayley, watching this game just now, and your commentary has been fabulous, both of you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
What have you learned that you can put into your next game?
For me, it's getting that 2 options as opposed to just the one driving on to the ball. If you're in the space and you're in the way, clear out for somebody else to drive in.
Oh, well, get out of the way. Oh, well, Hayley Lewis Howell and Emma Roberts from West Wales Phoenix, you've been stars. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And to everyone else, this was the 5th game of today, and we've got more coming your way. The next one is City Flames versus Northeast Infernos. So stick with us, and we will see you shortly. Sorry. before I cut out, Nick, thank you so much for being my co-com.
It's no problem. We just pretend like I'm not here.
You've just been seamless slotting in. It's been a pleasure. Your insight, well, you're a coach, you're a player, you know everything. Thank you very much. And good luck for your next game.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
See you later.